Final Word
Welcome
Podcast,
to the weekly
where our hosts will share
podcast
their
that
unique
keeps it
perspective on
real
social
about
issues,
youth
youth
sports,
sports, and
social
sports in
issues,
general.
and sports in
The
general.
Final Word.
The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting the Final Word.
The Final Word Podcast, where our hosts will share their unique perspective on social issues, youth sports, and sports in general. The Final Word.
Welcome to the weekly podcast that keeps it real about youth sports, social issues, and sports in general. The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting the Final Word.
Okay, you taking off or you staying put?
I'm staying right here, buddy.
That's super producer. He didn't want to talk, but he's on here. He's on here. So we had multiple weather code days for Andre and Dave. Both Dre used another FMLA day, but Dave used the weather. He used the weather exception. But he's still liable to get written up for that.
And Chris is still on his 99th vacation.
Right. Where is he?
St. Martin.
St. Martin. Where is that?
You know what? I have no idea.
Right near the beach. At least that's how it sounds. All right. So,
But he's working out there. He's actually with what's that guy's name? McCarty. Yeah.
All right. So we got some stuff to cover. We're gonna get Coach Driscoll on the line now. We're gonna start off with him as a special guest. I'm gonna link him up. He's actually pulling out because of the storm, but we'll let him do that. So I'm just gonna get him on the line right now. And we will chop it up with him a bit.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Coach Driscoll, how you doing? I got you on the Final Word podcast. This time, this is not a drill this time.
Okay, we're live. Great. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I just have to remind you, I am evacuating, so I got my little soldiers in the back, so I hope they don't come through too loud.
That's what's up. Where are you originally from?
Originally, I'm from Pennsylvania, 50 miles northwest of Philadelphia.
Gotcha. So this is your first hurricane, big boy like this?
Handle it. However, I have a work trip. I was supposed to fly out of Tampa tomorrow morning, so we're going to relocate up to South Carolina. My mom's up there, and then I'll fly out from there.
Gotcha. When you say relocate, you mean temporary or permanent?
Oh, temporarily. No, we're relocating, just for the storm. And then I was supposed to fly out of Tampa at 6 a.m. tomorrow, so I think it'll be easier to get it, up in Charleston, and not just drop the family off up there. So it'll be a little easier.
So you had your event this past weekend. I got a chance to go out there and see it, and I was really impressed, man. I ain't gonna lie, I was doubting it, man. And I was like, man, I don't know, man. I hope my guy don't lose on this one, but it's a really good thing you did, man. But can you tell us the name of your event and tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So the event was called The Connection, and the idea was coming from up in the north, and I've been in the Tampa area for like 2.5 years, and years in the area, and for like 2.5 years, I've been kind of wondering why some of these guys aren't being recruited, and I came to discover the state of Florida has 0 Division III schools. So that's kind of how I came up with the idea, because I know, Florida kids could be recruited by the Division I's, the Division II's, NAIAs, and JUCOs, but there's a big group of kids that are, basically overlooked right now because there's no Division III's in the state. So that's really where the idea came from, and we went with it, and I think it worked the first time. So we're happy with the turnout and the results.
So John, you were there. So what do you think about it?
What's up, Coach Driscoll? It's John Arroyo. No, I thought it was definitely well ran. Had a lot of help, a lot of good coaches. Definitely thought it was well ran. And I was just like you, Joe. I'm like, man, how in the hell is he gonna pull this off? Because a lot of times parents, kids, coaches, they're kind of just it's not gonna work. It's gonna be a waste of time. It's just gonna be a money maker type of situation. But it really wasn't. I think I was there Friday night for the younger boys, and it is something that they need. So it really was cool. Had some tough coaches and some tough coaching where some people aren't used to that. Um, so that's one question I definitely want to ask, because I've seen Driscoll do his thing with some of our boys. Um, what do you think the some of the parents or even the players' reaction to some of the tough coaching, um, or quote unquote brutally honest?
Yeah. I came up with that my business name like a year and a half ago, Real Hoops, just because you guys have let me on your court, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, maybe more, and I just try to, sounds goofy, but just keep it real. And I just see all the stuff that is going on, and some of the things people are telling kids that aren't really the truth. And I think that hurts the kids in the long run. So that's where the Real Hoops thing came from. And I guess your question was, what do I think of the, kind of harder coaching? I would say, respectfully, if they don't like it, that's fine. I don't care, because the idea of it is to help people and prepare them for the next step in the future. And, once you get to 4-year colleges, Division I, 2, or 3, no one really cares who you are. You have a job to do, and you have to show up on time. You have to do the right things, and it's just a different game at a different level. So, I knew all these college coaches. Some I've known for a long time, and I just said, listen, coach them like you coach your team. And I think to what you're saying, John, you probably saw that. I just said, coach them like it's playoffs, because if you're going to sugarcoat it, I think in the end you're not giving them the true value in the camp. And the camp is a service at the end of the day.
agree with that 100%. You know, I was, you know, I can't say it enough, but I was really, really impressed with, you know, not only the turnout, but also the how organized it was. You had, you know, real college coaches running the camp, so you didn't have, you know, some, you know, just travel ball coach that's out there trying to make a name for himself and trying to show out. Like these guys were really out there coaching, trying to get a good look at the, you know, the players to see if there's, you know, somebody who can help their program. It was just it was really good, man. It was very well run, and just from, you know, over the years, you know, just going to these things with my son, it was one of the best ran ones that you know that I've been a part of, and one of the, probably the most meaningful, because you had some guys who are pretty good players, you know, in the area, hadn't gotten the recruitment or anything like that, but you know, they were able to come in there and pick up some interest from these from the coaches that you had come in, and even some of them, you know, got their first offer. So it was very exciting to see that, man. I was very pleased.
Yeah, that was the whole meaning behind it. My thing is, you know, we're going to bring these. That's why I called it the connection. I mean, it just seemed like just the most appropriate name. Just bring these guys down, connect the college coaches with the players here in Florida, connect the Florida players with the that came down. Whether it was an assistant coach or a head coach, their head coach, athletic director, school president, director of admissions from all those colleges supported all those guys coming down here. And they want them to come back with names because they want to recruit Florida kids, and they want them to come back in the spring. And a lot of the coaches that left, they left last night, and some left this morning. The majority of them have already texted me saying that, you know, just let me know when we're doing it again in the spring out. And that's the whole point of this thing. And to your point, Joe, there was a kid 2 years ago, and this is where I got the idea. His name was Woody Machado at Alonso, and I watched him play 3 or 4 times. I was like, what's going on? Why is no one recruiting him? And I started talking to the kid, and so I ended up helping him get recruited to Bridgewater in Virginia, and he started every game last year as a freshman and played, I think, like 22 minutes a game to over half the games as a freshman. So he was a lot of the inspiration for the idea, knowing more kids from this area should be playing on a college roster, and how can we help them get there? So shout out to Woody.
Yeah, I grew up with Uncle, man, Marty Machado. We graduated together and went to school a long time. Yeah, Woody's that's my guy, man.
Yeah, good kid.
Yep, sure. You know, and this is the thing that I always talk about, and John can attest to it. I always say leave no stone unturned. And there were a lot of guys that I felt that should have, came out to this camp. I thought it was an important camp for them.
Yeah.
You know, some of the, you know, top guys in the area that probably think they're bigger than a Division III or Division II.
Sure.
They don't come to that kind of stuff, but I always say leave no stone unturned. Like, you know, my son Jojo, I hate to talk about my son every week, but that's
all good.
That's my reference point, because that's, you know.
Sure.
But we were on a visit at Florida State. He wanted to take off earlier so that he could make it come to that. And so he came to that. He played. He had a good time. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed being coached by those guys. You know, he doesn't mind being coached hard. But one of the coaches told him that you know, he complimented him. He asked what type of recruitment he had, and Jojo told him. And he said, I'm gonna reach out to some SEC schools for you. And that's what I'm talking about, leaving no stone unturned.
Right.
Because, you know,
right.
You go there, coaches, no coaches. I don't know how many times I've said it. Yeah.
I know. And that's why when I introduced these guys in the beginning, the coaches, like, you know, 2 of them were on Division I staffs as, like, graduate assistant or managers. So, like, they talk to those guys once a week. So, you know, when those 2 guys came down here, they're recruiting for their Division III school, obviously, but they're sending the list of the best 5 guys to the Division I schools they worked for. So I think some of that, that you're talking about is, I agree with you. Kids think they're better than Division III, which is fine. They've never seen a Division III game, so I'd like them to see one in person at some point so they could know how good Division III is.
Exactly.
But I think it's I guess it's a little bit of an ignorance, right? What you don't know, and just to your point of what you're saying is like those guys that think they're Division II or Division I, they could have got on more radars just by being connected to these Division III guys, So that's kind of the message I'm trying to, send to everyone. And the other thing I would say too is like, I put a lot of value in the guys that ran the instruction, and that's why we call it a camp, not a showcase. And I would say to have a guy who coached in the NBA, the G League, and on the international level in an Olympics, I'd say if I could spend 3 hours on the court with that guy, that's a pretty good value as well, in addition to having the chance to be recruited.
And let me say this, Driscoll. So you allowed me to bring Junior. Of course, he's just a freshman, and he had played 3 games Saturday, and then had some school function on Saturday night. And he was like, at one point, he was like, man, I'm not getting recruited right now. And I said, you're not understanding. I said, you can't not take advantage of an opportunity. They might not be looking at you, but you never know. You go in there, shake somebody's hand, you do what you got to do. They're not going to know that you're the youngest one in there. They're going to coach you hard, which they did. And it was a learning experience for him. And I told him like, don't be like these older boys who think they're better than what they are, or their parents think, because it's not the boys a lot of times, it's the parents. I said, just go in there. And to be frank, when I say coach hard, one dude said, what he said? He said, yo, stop shooting that shitty ass shot. And I saw it in his face. And I said, I played college basketball, dude. I said, they're gonna say worse things than that. You know what I'm saying? They might say, boy, you ain't shit. And I take that as, they're trying to get you to get to another level. So, but at the end of the day, it was a good experience because he's out there with older guys. He's seen, he's been to some of these camps where the coaches just sit down and, hey, y'all go do what you want to do. Yeah. I saw some of your guys like really coaching and trying to win the damn game.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. And so I think it was well ran. I think a lot of our kids took advantage of it. One of our big kids, Big Aiden, Big Shaq out there. I think for him, it helped him out a lot, in my opinion. He got an offer that day, and he's a good kid. I even talked to, man, I can't remember the school, the Division III school. I know you know the name. One of the he had a brown shirt on. Mott's? No, not Mott. Yep, there it is. I did not know that they got NIL money, and I bet you a lot of these people do not know that.
Yeah, that's good to know. And the thing about Tufts is they're in the NESCAC, so they that league is Division III, and any kid that's just a little below playing in the Ivy League, they end up playing in that league. So it's tough. Amherst, Wesleyan, Middlebury, some of the best schools in the world. And like if you walk in, watch them practice, and then you drive over to Yale or Harvard, you wouldn't see much of a difference on the level.
That's what he said. He said he competes with Yale and Harvard in reference to recruitment.
Correct. So when Yale and Harvard decide, here's the 3 or 4 guys I'm recruiting, and then they take those guys, the guy left over, he ends up going to Tufts. That's the level of guy they get. And you'll see every year, if you follow closely, and I'll share with you this year, every year Division III schools beat Division Is at the beginning of the year. Because they play them in exhibitions and non-conferences, and it happens like clockwork every year.
So yeah, so when you do the next one, man, I'm definitely gonna be putting the word out because I think it's, and I said it before on the show last week. I felt like it was a very important camp for the players to get to, and a lot of them didn't take advantage of it, man, and
Right.
they really missed out, but.
Yeah, well, I think it's hard. I think it's hard because, it's a new thing. No one really knows what it is. There's other stuff that you have to pay for that sometimes people don't really think is worth it. So I think it was one of those things that people have to see to understand. Luckily, your two sons and, 106 other kids on Saturday and 112 other kids on Sunday somehow believed in the message and the idea, and they showed up, and thankfully they're saying the same thing you guys are saying, about next time, which is, makes me happy to hear, because obviously, it was a ton of work, but I had the idea because I used to do this for a company called the Hoop Group in New Jersey, so I did that before I got into Division I, so I kind of knew how to run these type of things, and I just knew when these guys would come into the gym, and the kids, the players, the parents would come into the gym, they would really see what it was. But I don't think everyone quite fully understood when we were putting the message out there. But the people that did showed up, and I think they got their money's worth, which was great.
100%, and we're for sure going to continue to push it. A lot of our kids took advantage of it. So we definitely continue to push it. So it's just, kudos.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It was great. We had a lot of your guys there. There was kids from Georgia there. There was a kid from Tennessee that came down. We had kids from Miami, Palm Beach, Fort Myers, Orlando, Jacksonville, Daytona. And we had kids from all over the state.
I even saw a group from Mount Bird come, right?
What's that?
A group from Mount Bird came too, right?
Yeah, we had 7 kids from Montverde. We had 4 or 5 from IMG. We had some kids from DME. Yeah, so we had like 7 or 8 post-grad programs throughout the state that sent multiple guys. So I think it was really good. I think the other thing after this one is, with everyone kind of keeping a little buzz on it for the next few months, I think the number of coaches is going to go from 12 to 20 in the spring, and maybe even more, because, I think the parents and the student athletes are happy with it. I think the college coaches are going to spread the word too. So I think there's going to be more college coaches there in the spring. And, right now my idea is to get at least two events in the spring to bring these coaches down. So open your calendar up, John.
I got you, baby. I got you.
All right, Coach. We know you with the family, man. And John has a little bit of a potty mouth. I know you got the kids in there, so we're gonna let him.
No, they know. There's already recordings of my opening statements at camp both days, so I get no off. So, John, you got to send me that opening too when you get a chance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you guys having me.
All right, man.
Appreciate it. Be safe on that road.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Driscoll. Sorry if you're just joining us. The joint was on private, so a lot of you guys couldn't see it, but you should be good. I apologize for that. But if you can go back and watch the replay of the beginning of the show, we had Coach Driscoll on there who did his Real Hoops camp this weekend. It's really good, man. Really good event.
You know what he's talking about, the opening joke?
His opening speech.
Yeah.
You have it? You want to send it to Stokely?
No, I don't think I have it. I'll look if I have it, but I mean, he was honest with that. He was right.
Yep. All right, so let's go to. That's our first video or what have you. You know the drill. Just let's run with scissors on this one, Stoke. Let's hit me with anything.
How do you look at the NBA now? How do you view it?
Remember when the WWE was WWF? I don't know if everybody remembers that, but there was a time where WWE was WWF,
Right.
World Wrestling Federation.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it shifted to World Wrestling Entertainment.
Right.
Again, not right or wrong,
Right,
because
right.
one could argue that the WWE is a more impactful sport than the WWF was,
Right.
depending on what side of the conversation
Right.
you're on. All of pro sports to some degree, not just the NBA, even the NFL. You listen to guys that played before, coached before. It's a different game.
No doubt.
And it's not a negative thing.
Right.
It's just, it is built more for the entertainment value maybe than the competitive value, right? Like in previous generations, it was designed as though it was a battle, a
Gladiators.
war,
Yeah.
gladiators, so to speak. And it doesn't mean the guys now aren't tough, they're soft, like, that's not what I'm saying. But it's definitely a different way that they are able to show up and compete.
Back in the day. Now maybe because we can see it because of the social media. But when I talk to I hear like Haywood Workman stories and stuff like that when he was telling me, it's just a very few amount of guys that he talked about that was like in the gym like that working on their craft. Other than that, man, they was out partying and doing all kind of stuff, man. Like
I think it was harder for them to get there. So let me tell you this. So I was watching a podcast with Tim Hardaway. He was on a podcast with that new one. I forgot what it's called with Haslam. Anyway, he said, "Man, I used to," and this is growing up. And I used to ride to the park
I saw
with
that.
no. You saw that with no seat.
Yeah, what is that all about? No
I don't
bicycle.
know, but I would never drive a bike with no seat first and foremost. However, I didn't grow up like that, so I can't deny. So, but what I'm saying is, that's why I say the love. Nowadays, a little easier.
Hold on
Nowadays,
real
I
quick.
got my own train. Yeah.
People are saying volume and sound. Like, I guess they can't hear us right now.
Oh, hold on.
My apologies, everybody. We lost audio for a moment, but we're back.
Oh, so they ain't hear none of that what you was talking about, huh, John?
Well, that's how they do me, Joe. They always try to shut out the Puerto Rican, man. That's why I don't do a lot of black shows, man. I gotta do my own shit. I'm like the Tupac of the joint, man. Me against the world, man. God,
All right. So what John was saying that the guys the guys today don't work as much as the guys did back in the day.
For the love. They play for the love. I mean, they play for the money more than the love nowadays.
I think the guys was playing for the money back in the day. I mean, if that wasn't the case, because you always heard about guys holding out. Like, you don't hear about guys holding out no more. Like, when's the last time you heard about somebody holding out in the NBA? You don't hear that no more.
Why would you hold out? Why would you hold out when you can go 3 for 45 and get paid $25 million a year?
But if it wasn't about the money, they wouldn't have been holding out. They would have been playing if it was so much love. See what I'm saying? Like, Joyce is always playing for the money.
I'm not saying, look, we always say we go to work to get paid. So so I can't deny that. What I'm saying is that to me, they more like what he was saying in that video is more for entertainment. It's more for, like, to be honest, I don't even know if they get mad if they lose. They okay. They are okay if they lose. Back in the day, I was down with Isaiah Thomas when, like, man, fuck that. We lose, man, let's get up out of here. I thought that was disrespectful, but at the end of the day, he wanted to win so bad. Name a player in the NBA right now that if they lost, you might not hear from him for a while. You'll hear from that man. James Harden will be at the strip club in the next 10 minutes after a loss in the playoffs.
And this is why I disagree with you, right? Because when I first transferred to St. Leo, the New Jersey Mets had their training camp at St. Leo. So I had 100% access to them dudes. They had these little guys that were, like they're not graduate assistants, but the lower level assistants that they can call at any time and they come to the gym and get extra shots. So not one of those guys was in the gym once practice was done. They were there at the training camp times, and that was it. Like, I didn't see anybody putting in that extra work. And I could sit here and name that whole team, everybody who's on that team right now. Now, when the Toronto Raptors played during COVID, they played here in Tampa. It was based out of Tampa. JoJo was at Tampa Prep at the time, and their home court was Tampa Prep. Their practice facility, they would come and shoot around at Tampa Prep. And the Nets had a layover one time, and Coach Finley put a word out that the gym is available for anybody that wants to come and get some extra shots up while y'all still in town. And James Harden came. Now, you might say James Harden would go to the strip club. James Harden was in the gym working his ass. He was the only one that came. And this is when he first signed that big deal. And he was in there working his ass off. And JoJo snuck through the back and was sneaking and peeking out through the locker room door and watching him. And he said, man, he was working on all those moves that he does. And he was just doing them over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So, is he playing? Absolutely.
Back in it, he playing for the damn money. He don't give a damn if you win the championship or not. He is okay.
I don't know about that.
He is okay.
But see, what's your reference point in saying that?
So, how many people back in the day, when they got a little injury, did they take off? Or how many people back in the day played, I played 15 games, let me take a rest day. You know how pissed off our fans, me as a fan, going to the game, and you like, oh, hell yeah, I paid such and such, I'm going to bring my 5-year-old boy, to watch such a play and they take a day off.
Was that smart?
Nobody did that shit back in the day.
Was that smart though?
It ain't smart for us fans trying to go see your ass play. I need my money back.
But see, their body is their investment, and I get it. They do have to. And trust me, I don't like the load management stuff. I can't stand it. Selfishly, I can't stand it. But it's a business. So did I drop that Carl Anthony Towns photo in that box? If you could pull that up real quick, I think I dropped that in there. I was just hanging on to that, just for a rainy day, maybe, but just in case somebody is talking on how John's talking right now. So I would like to share that and touch on that. But I mean, I get it. I mean, I played 7 games. I broke my foot after the 3rd game at St. Leo. After the 2nd game in practice, 2nd or 3rd game in practice at St. Leo, I was averaging like 17 and 12 when I first hit the scene. And my dumb ass being cut from that old school cloth and thinking that's what you do. I played 7 games with a broken foot, and then my foot fractured. First conference game at North Florida.
But did you know it was broken?
I knew something was wrong, but I just kept playing. I just kept playing with it, and they was calling me club foot. I was dragging my foot, all. You know what I mean? But that's just was that.
But that's not load management. That's like you seen Martin. You seen the show Martin?
Yeah.
Cole, you stupid.
Yeah, it was. And that's what I'm saying. It was dumb. But I was hurt, and I should have sat out. That was my foot broken. I mean, yeah, it was a slight fracture, but it was something that I was playing through. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't smart, man. I lost that whole year.
But these people, but that's not the same as you was hurt. Some of these jokers ain't hurt. They just don't feel like playing that day.
But they trying to rest their body and get in that recovery period.
Right.
It's also important. So Stokely had the picture up. It's Stoke, I don't know if I like this, man. We can't even see stuff, man. Let's see what we got going on here.
Look at the live feed, Joe.
Huh? You say what?
Look at the live feed.
All right, so this is a picture of Carl Anthony Towns with him getting traded. Now it says on here, my eyes are bad. So can you read it since you I can't see that.
Sure. Carl Anthony Towns never once requested a trade from the Minnesota Timberwolves during his 9 years in Minnesota. The word from the Carl Anthony Towns camp is stunned.
Right. So, and you want, and I get it. The fans are paying money to come see these guys and this, that, and the other. But you want this guy to be that loyal to that team where he's gonna go out and play hurt and all that stuff like that, and they'll ship him off. Like they're not loyal to the players like that. Like, so why should he put his body through all of that, shortening his career? You know what I mean? Which means less money.
So
for that organization.
Carl Anthony Towns don't run that hard to ever get hurt in his life, first and foremost. He jogs up and down the damn court and shoot threes.
He's tough, man.
No, the boy can play, but he ain't getting hurt jogging up and down. Second of all, it's not about the loyalty to the team. It's about your character. Just play the game you love. That's all I'm saying. Just play the game you love. I'm not saying you can't. I mean, to me, the question was, do these people, is it more entertainment? Because the younger crowd gets upset when the older generation says, man, y'all can play in our league. And then they say, well, y'all can play in our league. We would never know that answer. I'm sorry. We would never know that answer. However, we do know that now it's more of an entertainment business than it is a basketball business. Everybody's getting money. The owner's getting paid. The players are getting paid. So it is a business. We can't get mad at that. Everybody's getting money. The people that are getting the short end of the stick is the fans.
I mean, I agree it is more about entertainment now because the rules of the game has changed to make it give the offensive guy more of an advantage. But that's by design. I mean, the days of the Knicks and Pacers and the score is like 79-82, the final score, that day is over.
The Heat and Knicks.
Right, yeah, those games like that, that day is over. They want to see, they want to get back to the Lakers run and gun, the Denver Nuggets run and gun, where they were scoring like 120 points and stuff like that. They want that. So that's what sells. That's what sells, puts people in butts and seats, and that's what people want to see.
I agree. They doing that with the NFL too.
But I still think they love the game though. All right, so hit me with the next video. What else we got?
He tried to take the last word. They love the money. Go ahead, so hit it with the last word.
Yeah, they like the money too. But I still think they love it though, man.
I'm gonna shoot at the coaches. I'm gonna shoot at the coaches because it's like, look, man, I know for a fact that there are coaches not doing their very best and giving their very all to bring the best out of these kids. I know that for a fact. So I feel like it's even unfortunate because the kids only get 4 years at this. That's it. But the coaches in high school aren't treated like coaches in college or the NFL. If you go out and drop the ball and 0 and 9 every year, you're not getting fired because of that. And I wish they would get fired because it's like, it's super important for coaches in high school athletes. Like, this is their future we're talking about. This is their development we're talking about. So it's like, for you to not give a fuck and just be like, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing, I'm not gonna go out of my way, it's kind of disrespectful, and it's unfortunate for athletes who don't have the luxury to transfer and be in different programs. So it's like, we need to hold the coaches more accountable because they giving the bare minimum, and the athletes are the ones that gotta suffer. So shit, the coaches should see it, and the teams we talking about that's 0 and 9 and not winning and been bad for 10 years, they should see this and be like, damn, like maybe we need to do something better. So we should shed light on the bad teams because maybe they just need better coaches. Because you're not gonna tell me that for 10 years you done got 10 bad groups, unathletic groups for a whole decade. You got a decade of bad athletes? Get the fuck out of here.
So he's talking about high school coaches doing the bare minimum, not going above and beyond. Is that volume back on?
Yeah.
Not going above and beyond. I agree with him. I personally think I think high school coaches should be held to a standard. I think they should have some type of evaluation or performance standards that they have to meet, and I think they should be held to it. I think they should be incentivized for getting players into school and getting on the next level. You just have, you see it all the time. You have so many coaches just going through the motions, and they just lose year after year. There's no skin in the game, no level of accountability at that level. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree with you 100%. There's a very short list of high school coaches going a long way. But the question I ask, is it their fault or is it the administration's fault for putting a lot of restraints on them? I don't know the answer to that, but it could be that as well.
Like what kind of restraints? So what are some of the programs you see around here that get there?
I mean, shoot, I got to wake up at 4:30 in the morning every Tuesday and Thursday. Season hasn't even started to bring Junior and Mike to Jesuit. Okay. Right now they go 5:30 in the morning, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3:45 one Mondays and Wednesdays, and then the gym is open at 6 in the morning Monday through Thursday. To me, that's getting it in.
Right.
I don't think a lot of coaches are willing to be there that early, but that's on them. But I also think that a lot of the administration would not allow them to be in there that early because of maybe other sports or other activities.
Well, I see Plant High School gets in the gym early like that. Obviously, North Tampa Christian, they're getting in the gym early in the morning before school. Tampa Catholic's putting in work. They get in the gym. Who else is out there? These are the ones that I've like seeing when they posted on social. I mean, there's some schools that do it. You know,
I think Berkeley does it too. Berkeley's fortunate because they got
they got an auxiliary court too.
Yeah.
Auxiliary gym. You know, you see, you see some of the schools, like you see Gibbs. You know, they play year round. You know, I see Wharton. You know, I know Wharton gets in there. I don't know if they get in there before school or anything like that, but they put in work. They get it in and it shows. They're sharp. That's another school that's like playoff ready already.
I think Winthrop. I know I heard from some of my kids that Winthrop get in there early in the morning as well.
Right.
So,
yeah. And you know, I mean, so you do see it. You know, I mean, you see it in some cases, but I mean, I think you know, I respect it. You know, I like it. It's something that I would do if I was coaching because it only, you know, it's only gonna make you guys better. I mean, you know,
I think. I mean, I do think some administration plays into it, but I also think that some of the coaches, I don't know if it's the love. It's just like, yo, it's not that big of a deal right now. I think it's shortening the kids because you can look at the JV teams.
Right.
I enjoy when you see a JV team running the same sets as the varsity team.
Right.
Because you know what you got coming up. And I just think it could be the love or it could be like, man, it's not that serious to me. But you're hurting the kids. You're not hurting the number one, number two, number three kids. You're hurting the number 7, 8, 9, and 10 kids. There was a kid that came to the skills center today, mention no name. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know he could shoot that well. And the guy who he was with was like, bro, he's just not getting the same opportunity. They're not working with him. Man, he was, I mean, beautiful form. And I've seen the kid on the team. And I'm like, damn. Luckily, you know, we was open today, so we had some kids come in, use a shooting machine and things like that. But so that part is what I say it hurts the kid because he's like maybe 8 and 9 player on the team.
Right.
So if you got in there more, that's who you're affecting. You're not going to affect the number 1 and number 2 kid because they're going to put in the work. You're affecting the others, and that's where it's not right.
Yeah, you saw it with Tampa Catholic last year because I really thought Tampa Catholic had a down year as far as personnel-wise goes. But you can see how they're in the gym so much because they made shots. Like they had guys that made shots, and you can tell like they've been in the gym. And that's one of the things that you see with Gibbs now. Like those guys are better shooters. Like you know, if you're gonna play Gibbs, you want to make them beat you from the outside, and now they can't. You know what I mean? So that shows that you know they just been in the gym, and you know you see it, man. Like the Wharton guys defensively, I'm a big Van Zant fan. You know, I'm a big Tatum fan. You know what I mean? Like some of those guys, man. You just see it. You see the work they put in. You can see it. But
it's good. It's good that you shot those guys out, man. I don't know Van Zant. I seen him at the gym during your Jumanji tournament, and I just told him, I said, man, look, I love what you do. Don't know you from nothing, but I love what you do. The boys you have on your squad, you're getting the most out of them.
Right.
A lot of coaches, I can't say that. Mm-hmm. I can't say that. And that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's why hopefully we're building this new thing where we're helping all kids. For lack of a better word, I talked to Nick Womack yesterday. I went up to him and I said, yo, you don't know this, but there's a coach that was looking at another player. I told him about you. I said, what you think? You know, can you play on that? Like, heck yeah, coach. And I'm not a high school coach. I'm nobody. But if I can help somebody, I can. And I just think that Van Zant has done a great job for this kid, bro. The way he puts him out there, like people would have thought that the kid was a selfish player. But the kid's a hooper.
He has a good balance of scoring and facilitating.
Yes. So I'm hoping he get an opportunity. But you can see the work that Van Zandt has put with him. Same thing with Jason Montgomery. Jason Montgomery went to the camp this weekend. Got some great interest from a good squad. And normally people, I mean, you were the first one to told me when I didn't really know him. You're like, man, that joke is a play. When I coached him that one, I think it was a fall league or something like that. And I just think we got to do more. And I think it falls on the high school. The guy is right. It falls on the high school coaches, man. Why not do the most you can? You know, you can't let obstacles, you can't let anything get in the way of the success of your kids. And I think when a small obstacle come in play, they like, man, I just can't. They don't ask the why, or they don't go a different route. They just say, hey, they say I couldn't use the gym. You know what I mean? And that's a big issue. Let me give you an example. This might go over some people's heads. This morning, I'm shaving my head, right? Shaving my head and I dropped the damn razor. Shit broke. I can't go back home. Some people would be like, man, I'm going home for the day. Because I was at work, actually. I'm going home for the day. Or I got to leave work and go buy me a razor. You know what I did, though? I picked up that damn razor, and I shaved my whole head, hoping I didn't cut myself. But I'm the type of dude, I got to get it done. I got to get it done. Some coaches don't think I got to get it done. Some coaches think, man, they won't let me. So that's the end of it. Doors are closed. They don't have that Coach Carter mentality. We're going to figure it out and we're going to get it done. And that hurts the kids.
All right, so what else we got? I don't know. I can't remember what you said. It was a kickoff return, and the guy touched the ball and went into the end zone. So if they tackle him, it's a safety. But he ended up running probably a 108-yard touchdown after the fact. So just because you make a mistake, don't mean it's the end. So talk to me about that. What do you think?
Man, I think even with my young guys that are playing varsity basketball now, um, they can be very either emotional, put their head down on a mistake, because they're playing with a lot of pressure. Do I make this pass? Do I make this shot? Whatever. You can't let, like he's saying, you got to move on to the next play or the next action, like in that video. And I think sometimes they get stuck on a certain play that they messed up on, and that's when you mess up. You got to figure it out. And I think that was a prime example of that. So that's dope.
Yeah, you see it so many times, like, in the course of a basketball game, like the kid might make a turnover and then they jog back, or, but like, hustle down the floor and go get it back. Like I always talk about, guys not being a coward. Like Mike, for example, Jacob Daniels is coming down full steam ahead, and Mike goes upstairs and tries to make a play on the block. And he got dunked on, but we don't celebrate the defensive effort to get back, and then not only that, but not being a coward. Like how many times do you see players stop at the free throw line and let a guy dunk, or this or that? And I'm telling you, man, if I played today, I would be on so many highlight videos, probably getting dunked on because I was going to try to block everything. You know what I'm saying? And I was going to block a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm going to block more than I get dunked on. That was always my motto. I block more than I get dunked on. And I appreciate a kid going up into the no coward zone. If it means you get dunked on, then that's what it is.
Right. Let me tell you this. I think if cameras was out back in the day, they would have seen me touch the earth a lot. Because my mentality was I was a defensive guy. My mentality was I'm gonna guard you 94 feet. I'm gonna get got sooner or later. But that don't mean the next time down, I'm not gonna get up 94 feet again. Because you're either gonna get irritated with me or you're gonna drop me again. So now I'm playing the odds. You're not gonna drop me every time. And you brought up Mike. It was funny. He made, I don't know, maybe 2-3 turnovers on Saturday. It was against either Blake or Gibbs. And TJ was sitting next to me. And TJ said, like, he made a turnover or missed a shot. And right instantly got back, dove on the floor, got a steal. You know, there's no quit. And that's what you want. What people don't understand is, or what players understand, the mistake doesn't take you out the game. The effort and the reaction after the mistake is what takes you out of the game.
Right.
So and that's huge for a freshman to think like that. So absolutely, you said that about Jacob Douglas the other day. You know
Yeah.
what
We were in. I want to say we were in Kentucky and we were playing. This was when I had the 2025 group and we were playing up in 2024. And I had they were freshmen and we were playing up in 16. And then Jacob had this thing. If there's a guy that was a ball handler, I say, hey, Jacob, let's see what he's made of. So when I say that, that means Jacob's going to get right up on him. And the kid was he was shifty. He was pretty good. And he shook Jacob up, and Jacob stumbled back. There were some cameras there that they would have been posted. And Jacob stumbled back, and they do a step back and hit a three, and looked at me and like gave me, you know what I mean? Like he was a jerk. So then the next play down, Jacob backed off. I said, oh no sir, get in him again. So I called a timeout, and I said, hey, that ain't Kobe. I said, you think that's Kobe? That ain't Kobe. And the kid was walking by, he's laughing. I said, you make him hit that shot. You make him make a play like that all game. I said, I seen one guy that can do that. That's Kobe being right. I said, make him do that all day. And Jacob got in his ass, and the kid was. But by the time we got at the halftime came, he was passing the ball and somebody else bring it up. He ain't want no more part of that. And it was a lesson learned from Jacob. I'm like, look, you get in them the whole game. I said, if you play this game long enough, you're gonna get crossed up, you're gonna fall, you're gonna get dunked on. All that stuff's gonna happen. For the level that you want to play on, I said it's gonna happen. I said, but you can't let that deter you from being who you are. And from then on, you know what I mean? Like Jacob's going, he get in him. If he's gonna be on the highlight, he's gonna be on the highlight. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's a valuable lesson for him because Jacob can't leave no money on the table. He got to get every dime. You know what I mean? And he's doing that now.
And now, and I don't know if that was the reason, but at the end, if it was, kudos to you because he is one of the best on-ball defenders in the county. Hands down. Nobody wants Jacob Douglas to guard him 94 feet. They will be irritated. And it's like the movie, I referenced the movie Coach Carter again. When they were playing, going to the States, or it might have been States, I can't remember. Their best player,
Ty Crane.
Yeah, he was like, hang on to that monster. Hang on to that monster. And towards the end, you saw him like, damn, like they won't quit. They won't quit. So and that's the thing. A lot of kids, they're playing not to get on camera.
Right.
And that's a problem.
It is. And I wouldn't take credit for Jacob's defensive prowess. But two lessons that I told him that I hope still stick with him. And he'll probably tell you, you make guys make plays like that all game. The whole game. You know what I mean? You wear them down. And number two was every game, that other player should want to fight you. He should be trying to fight you every game. I said, if that kid not trying to fight you before this game is over, you ain't do your job. Like Jacob will tell you, I tell him that. and Jacob would get in him, and he would get under people's skin, and he'd push them and try to fight them and all that stuff like that, and he would eat it up. And so he knew he had him. I mean, he'd look over that and he'd be clapping and stuff like that, like he knew he had him. And that's who he has to be. You know what I mean? Like that's
Man, it's funny you say that because a kid can get 20 on you, but it's a hard 20. Like you had to work for that 20.
Right.
I was a senior playing against this dude called Jojo Daniels, and a 6'3" point guard, and I guarded him the whole game. He probably ended with like 21, 22, but that bit was tied. He was tied. They won the game, and he's mad.
Right.
He's mad at me.
Right.
So during the line, after the game, we shaking hands. He didn't want to shake my hand. They won the game. He was so mad that I had to make him work that he didn't want to shake my hand. So I'm like, shit, he won the game, but boy, mentally I'm in his ass.
That's what had to be.
Yeah, and then when we seen him in college, I played against him in college, it was a different type of respect.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. All right, so
I love to hear coaches resist the responsibility of coaching.
All-time team. We go revisit them again, and we go in alphabetical order. So this week, and again, I collaborated with coaches, people close to the program, and my own observations. So this week we have Blake and Bloomingdale.
Woo, woo, woo. Fire the alarm, fire the alarm.
All right, so we're going to start with Blake. Get my eyes together. All right, let's see what we got. This is from 2020 to 2024. So we got good eyes, man. Let me let you read these off. So what we got on the Blake team? You're on mute if you're talking. I see Stokely, you're on mute if you're talking.
Oh no. What's up?
You gonna read this list off?
Sure. All right. All-time Blake High School basketball team to 2020 to 2024. We've got our first team. We have Emmanuel Sharp, class of 2022. Anthony Davis Jr., class of 2022. Joshua Lewis, he's graduating next year, class of 25. We got JoJo Filine III, class of 26. And Kentrell Martin Jr., class of 25.
First team?
That's first team. Got second team. We got Arthur Andrews, class of 21. We got Malik Brady Ayers, class of 24. We got the king himself, King Assad, class of 23. And we've got Cedric Jackson, 21. And then last we have Henry Katz or Henry Cates, class of 2022.
So what do you think about that team? Who's off?
Let me ask you this. Refresh my memory, Anthony Davis Jr.
That's the one that went to Bishop McLaughlin with Emmanuel. He was actually I consulted with Sharp about them, and that's the reason Brandon Stokely ended up getting bumped because of him calibration. Man. So Brandon was on there. Coach Fred had him on there, but he averaged 18 and 8 as a sophomore. So it's a really good player for them. I forgot when he was playing college ball. We already know Emmanuel, Joshua, JoJo, and KJ. Arthur Andrews, I think that's the big guy that Fred had. He went on to play college ball on that team. They won the district. He was pretty good. I think Cedric Jackson was on that team. So then you got Malik, King Assad, and Henry Katz.
Big white boy, right?
Yeah, he was the senior when Josh went on as a freshman. He was really good.
So let me ask you this. It says 20 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if they played during that time, correct?
They played during that time, yep.
Gotcha.
So Emmanuel Sharp and Anthony Davis played in 2019, 2020. So they got half a year. Yep.
That is a tough team, I tell you that. That's a big-ass team.
Yeah, that's a good team, man.
Emmanuel at the point? Ooh, we.
Yeah, it's going to be them and Tampa Catholic, I think, going to have the two of the toughest teams, I think. But we'll get to them. It's a long way until we get to the T's. All right, so let's bring up the Bloomingdale guys.
All right, for Bloomingdale, we've.
Oh, and Emmanuel bumped Sheaf off. You can't argue with that one. You know, you can't argue with Emmanuel. Yeah.
All right.
Emmanuel bump everybody off.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So we've got our Bloomingdale all-time basketball team from 20 to 2024. First team, we've got Kedron Evans, class of 25. We got Rudolph Hayes, class of 22. We have Mason Crotwell, class of 22 also. We've got Isaiah Zeller, 24, and we've got Darian Martin, class of 24. For our second team, we've got Jalen Gallman, class of 21. Nick Womack, class of 25. Reed Crotwell, isn't he a skill center kid? Class of 25? Okay. Caleb Zetrell, class of 25. And Gabriel O'Brant, class of 21.
All right. Is this Nick Womack, my guy Nick Womack that I like?
Yeah, that's he was there as a freshman, sophomore. Still very good. So he's still very good, but he wasn't as good as he is now, but he still was pretty damn good.
That was 2 years ago. That joker got that much better?
Nah, he still was good. But that Kendrick kid is pretty good too now.
Because, I mean, just like what you, it's going to be tough to bump. I just can't see him being a second teamer in any school.
Well, he left there as a sophomore.
I mean, Emmanuel left as a freshman. and I know we can't compare, but hey.
Emmanuel left as a sophomore too. But Emmanuel was doing stuff like he had a game where he had 2 points at the half and finished with 55. Like Joyce ain't doing that.
Yeah.
You know
I agree.
Like Joyce ain't doing that, man. Like Emmanuel was going out getting 50s. Has anybody scored 50 in this county since Emmanuel left?
No, I don't think. No, one of the closest is Finch.
Oh yeah, Finch was putting up some numbers.
Yeah, Finch probably averaged 35 in 4 games.
Yeah. But Emmanuel had that at halftime. All right, so I got I got a video that I want to play, and I wish Dave Lamar was here so we can drench into the culture a bit. I don't know if I titled this story. I think I put it in there, but say you black without you saying you black. It should be a video in there. Did I drop that in there?
The only video I got here is you make the call in Tomlin.
Oh man. Let me see. Did I download it and not send it to you? Hold on.
You want me to run one of these videos while you send it?
Yeah, let's run the Tomlin. I'll let you and because I think you sent that one, didn't you?
I love to hear coaches resist the responsibility of coaching. What'd you say, Coach? What'd you say, Coach? I love coaches that resist the responsibility of coaches. That talk negatively about a dude that can't learn and blah, blah. Man, if everybody could learn, we need less coaches.
Yeah, that's right.
If the group didn't need management, then we wouldn't make as much. I love reading draft evals and somebody's talking about anything other than pedigree. Talking about how poor somebody's hand usage is. Well, that's coaching. I don't run away from coaching. I run to coaching. It all is in line with that not seeking comfort. Because when you're a coach that's talking about somebody can't learn, you're seeking comfort because your teaching is struggling.
I couldn't hear it really good, but I think I got the gist of it. But give me a synopsis of it. Give me the clip notes right there.
basically,
He talking to you, super producer. You
Oh.
on mute.
basically, Coach Tomlin is talking about, when folks, when these coaches evaluate folks based on pedigree. So instead of coaching them, or instead of coaching them or wanting to coach the coachables, they run away from it. So that's what he's talking about.
I got you. A lot of coaches do that. Some people, a lot of people, take credit for already made dinner and didn't do anything about it. I think it brings more value when these kids that are willing to learn, willing to listen, but just may need some tough coaching or just some development. It brings more value to that. That's the way I see it. So, like he said, I think he said he don't run away from that. He cherished that. He wants that. And shoot, that's why he's been with the same organization for 20-some years, whatever it is. So, I can agree with that.
So you just not gonna chime in, man?
Hey man, I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to upload this Say You Black. I'm interested. I'm more interested in what this Say You Black video is all about.
Hey,
So
me
I
too, because I probably do a whole lot of that stuff. Let me see that.
So I just listened to it. No, I agree. Like people, a lot of coaches don't want to develop. They want the finished product. I mean, you see it with certain teams. Like they don't want certain kids to develop. And then once they develop, and a grassroots team develop them, and they get older, and then they come and they swoop these kids, and that's because they don't want to. They're not interested in development. They want the finished product. They want the guy that can play already, and we see it all the time in the travel ball, like Big Bryce, for example. Kid 6'9". Like, why wouldn't you grab him and why would somebody grab him and develop him? So we trying to do that. It's late in the game for him. He's 15 years old, whatever, but he still has time. He's working hard, and I think if he has 2 years to figure it out. I think that's more than enough time. He can get on somebody's college campus. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of coaches don't want to do that.
No, I agree. Like I told you the other day, 6, 7, 14-year-old came to me, just started. Most people be like, man, he ain't ready. I instantly said, Chris, that's a project, but man, if he catch on, he gonna be somebody. And so, yeah, you got to put in the work. As a coach, as a player, you got to put in the work. A lot of people want that finished product. And not for nothing, I know you hate to keep talking about it, but at the end of the day, JoJo was a project. And the work that he puts in, it's like, wow. And it brings value to him, because when people call me and say, man, what you think, what type of kid he is? The number one thing I always say, loyal, hardworking, high educated. The basketball is a plus. But if he didn't have this other stuff, it wouldn't be where he's at. So, I mean, a lot of coaches don't want that because it's work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't say they're doing it for the money, because you don't get paid like that, but it's work.
All right, so you ready for me? See, we always talk about sports, youth sports, and social issues.
Yeah.
We never talk about social issues. So this is not an issue. I think this is more funny.
The weather all fucked up last.
Eternal Joy, that's what the girl's name is. Mom. That's the daughter name. Mm-hmm. She's been in Drake video and
Y'all didn't see that?
That shit look like it took a picture of my head. That's what I thought, Drake. Nigga, go inside. Why you taking so long? I swear, I thought I was dead.
But that ain't.
Explain it to me, because I couldn't really hear it.
So they were sitting on the porch just talking, about a bunch of nothing. I think they might even had a little card game going, drinking a little bit, and it was a real loud lightning strike came. So everybody just got up in sequence and went on in the house. It's just, but you had to just hear what they were saying, man. It was hilarious, man. So, I don't know. I thought it was funny.
I feel you, Joe, because as soon as I saw the lightning, I was like, time to go.
Yeah, I would have did the same thing. It's like if you with a whole bunch of black folks and somebody get up and start running.
They all start running, yeah.
Everybody go run. And we had this thing when we was growing up, like if I'm walking home from the park from that falling or something, and I got my basketball and Mo and the guys will see me walking. So they'll pull up behind me and stop the car, open the doors, and like they was jumping out. And we wouldn't even turn around and look back. We just catch out running. Then you hear them all laughing, and then you stop and turn around. That's just what we do, man. We do hauls ass. All right,
Puerto Rican's right behind you.
All right, so take us out.
Y'all be safe.
Oh yeah, man, be safe in the storm. I forgot about that.
Final Word
Welcome to the
Podcast.
weekly
Our hosts will share
podcast
their
that keeps it
perspective on
real
social
about
issues.
youth sports, social issues, and sports in general. The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting the Final Word.